New York Football Giants going up against the Miami Dolphins. Both coming off rough weeks, one much rougher than the other. Miami took a trouncing to the Buffalo Bills last week. Let Josh Allen do whatever they wanted to him, or whatever he wanted to them. That sounded kind of sus coming out. But yeah, the Dolphins got trounced in Buffalo, unfortunately. But we know what this offense can do. There was good signs on Sunday. I mean, A-Chain seems like he's clearly taken over the backfield for himself. So gotta love that. I mean, I've been hyping up A-Chain since the draft process, man. I mean, I saw him play in person in SEC football in Kroger Field, and I was like, that guy is going to be really good in the National Football League. So he's been good. Gotta love that. Now the Giants. I don't know what to say at this point. I was a Lone Ranger in my Giants hype before the season, and I sit alone in the doldrums of Giants fandom. This is the second worst team according to our power rankings, but definitely has an argument to be the worst team in the National Football League right now. Should not be that way. I mean, I really don't know what's going on. I think it's really this offensive line. That's what it comes down to, man. I mean, it's bad in all three phases. Don't get me wrong. But if I were to pick one that's particularly struggling, it's this offensive line. I mean, they don't across the board. Evan Neal, 68th. Like, oh my God, man. I mean, dude, 68, 58, 33rd, 57, 64th. That is the offensive line, and I think that is a big reason why Daniel Jones looked like one of the worst quarterbacks to ever take a football field on Monday night. This offensive line isn't giving him any sort of time in there, so I'm just trying to make excuses at this point. I mean, this defense, if this offense can't step up, this defense should be able to step up, and it hasn't. It's been terrible. So I'm out of words. I'm out of words, so help me out, man.
Maybe the Giants' defense was just bad. Maybe it never was that good. Maybe I don't know. Just because I happened to somehow
come on. They were
throughout the
good
last
last year, bro. Come on. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Kayvon Thibodeau. This team should be good, man. Come
for
on.
the last month and a half, I've had this link up, and I just every time we talk about the Giants, I like to bring this up. One and only Kane Schwartz. We do our power rankings.
Why do we have
Giants
to go back?
were 14th. The New York Giants, the New York Football Giants, 14th. Dallas Cowboys, 16th. Love doing that every time. All right, let's do some analysis on this one. This is going to be ugly. I'm talking 25 plus points.
You're such an asshole.
25 plus point win for the Dolphins here. This one isn't even going to be close. Tua may not play in the third quarter.
Oof.
Okay, let me hedge a little bit. We may see Mike White in the third quarter.
Dude, fourth quarter I'll give you.
Now, we'll see. Saquon was limited in practice this week. If he's playing, that changes the math a little bit.
It does.
The offensive line, there's Andrew Thomas. I don't know if we've got an injury report on him yet.
I do not think he's going to be active this week.
Yeah, not practicing again today, so probably not playing on Sunday. I mean, the Dolphins have, if Seattle doesn't have a great front seven, they don't have a great pass rush. Miami's is significantly better than theirs, and Seattle did, like you said, whatever they wanted to the Giants and Daniel Jones. So the Dolphins should have a very good time on Sunday getting after Daniel Jones, which makes it a little bit difficult to win football games when your quarterback is running for his life all the time and he can't even dip it down to his playmakers because his playmakers stink. And the offensive line stinks. They can't establish the run. And the defense can't stop anything. They're playing against one of the best offenses in the NFL that can, beat teams deep. They can run the football. They can run the short game.
Analysis of the downfall of the New York Giants. I appreciate that. We're both taking the Dolphins on the
Could
spread.
The Dolphins score 70 points twice this season?
I don't know. I can't argue against you. I can't argue against you because this is I didn't expect this at all.
I wonder if I could
you didn't expect it to be this bad. Come on.
I wonder if I could get an alternate spread for the Dolphins of 28.
Yeah, you probably can. Okay, whatever. Okay. Let's have
Probably plus
before
money.
because this matchup doesn't matter. The Dolphins are walking away with a win here. But do we, despite what I talked about with the offensive line, what's the plan with Daniel Jones? I mean, you just gave him the contract. It's not a super long-term contract, but it's 3 years, so he's gonna be there for 3 years.
Man,
So
if you came and talked to me this offseason, I would have told you this. The franchise tag was invented for guys like Daniel Jones, who have shown very little in years 1 through 3, or 1 through 4. And then in year 5, on the 5th year option, has a good season. Not a great season, not an MVP season, a good season. Especially at the quarterback position. You know, you get the new or the new play caller in here, new head coach Brian Daboll, and you see some improvements from Daniel Jones. You franchise tag that guy without a second thought. And I know that they have some unique circumstances with him and Saquon both being up for contracts at the same time, which makes it a little bit difficult to, you can only give one franchise tag out, and running backs get franchise tagged all the time. Salary cap wise, team construction wise, Saquon Barkley for 4 years is much better than what is going to happen here with Daniel Jones. What happens? I mean, I think they've got an out after 2 or 3 years. But it's 2 or 3 more years of Saquon Barkley. What happens in 2 to 3 years with him? Probably not a whole lot. You're going to have to rebuild this team almost from the ground up. I mean, this isn't like a Steelers situation where it's like they're going to be picking 15th every year. This team could be picking in the top 5, so they can turn this thing around a little quickly. But we're kind of talking about them in the same way that we've talked about Denver a little bit of like, are they going to be paying their backup $40 million next year? Like, is that what's going to happen? And that's starting to become more of a realistic possibility every day. I mean, you asked what can be done with Daniel Jones. Nothing can be done with Daniel Jones the next 2 years. And maybe we're overreacting a little bit because there's not a whole lot of structure in New York right now. I mean, outside of Daniel Jones, the best player on the field on offense was Darren Waller. After that, it's Paris Campbell. I can't even say Evan Neal. Like,
Wandale has looked really good.
Wandale, what are we doing here? If that's the third best player that's on the field on offense, you're screwed. You are effectively screwed. So, not the greatest scenario to put him in, and we're kind of feeling a dead horse here, but
it's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Dolphins by
just
50.
Straight up. Yeah, Dolphins by 1 million if it were possible.